Hey everybody, DeRosa here, coming at you with a Hail Caesar Battle Report. This report comes after our Beware of the Ides of March event that Major Wellington held in March, on March 16th at Xander's Game House. We're going to be talking about two battles today. The first battle was a 2 versus 1 battle, Roman versus Roman. And the second battle was a 1-on-1 battle, Sparta with some Greek allies versus Republican Rome. Okay, let's go over the first battle, Roman versus Roman. We had player Dan with the Julius Caesar faction versus players Chris and Luis with the Pompey faction. Turned out to be a bloody battle. They had a lot more terrain on their battlefield than the next battle that we'll talk about. So that made the armies a little bit more separated in their fights. I remember that they said that Luis had the left flank of the Pompey army and had a lot of problems getting his units to activate and to follow orders. So the Caesar faction had a lot of advantage there. And so then I believe that Luis was in control of most of the cavalry on that left flank. The bluish, light blue soldiers are the Pompey troops. They were controlled by Chris. They had a lot of hand-to-hand combat battles with Dan's Julius Caesar forces. And in the end, it was a grind-out battle. Like I said, little separate packets of fights that turned into a basic victory for the Julius Caesar faction. And it was a fun game. It was the first time for most of the players. And so I think they enjoyed it. So we will let the camera roll on this a little bit, and then we'll pick up in a minute and talk about the next game. Okay, I took part in our next battle. I was part of the Republican Romans, and Pete was control of the Spartans. These are all his figures that he let me use in this match. It was a great match. The first time I've ever played this game. I liked it a lot. We had some elite figures facing each other, and we just went at it. Basically, unlike the first game, we didn't have any terrain to block us. So in the end, you'll see we'll have just a huge line fighting each other. And my Romans were just teetering the whole time, but they last second controlled some morale checks and passed, and then held their spot, and then finally routed the Spartan and Greek allies. It was a really proud moment for the Roman Republican morale. So they held up to the Greek fighters. So it was a really fun game. You'll see the forces here. The way I maneuvered, I had two Scorpion artillery pieces, but I didn't set them up correctly, and I was always blocking their shot. So I barely got any shots with them. But like I said, in the end, the Romans held out. This was my cavalry force going around the right hand side, and for a moment, his slingers were able to slow them down, but I was able to charge one of his cavalry units and destroy them, and then break through past the slingers you see here and around his wing and take on his back forces and just crush the rear flank of his troops. So again, it was a really fun match. Could have went either way just on rolling, and I think we misplayed the elite troops. We probably would have been there a lot longer. We should have been saving on a lower number, I believe, but it was okay because it was even throughout the game. So we just played with them as regular troops, I think, in the end. Here again, you see my troops sneaking around. Again, this is my left-handed Scorpion. It did shoot a little bit, but it got a lot of fire directed towards it, so I had to back up. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Let us know what you think. Please hit that subscribe button, like, and let us know. Comment, please. I'd like to always hear what you're thinking about how we're doing. And also, become a member at MajorWellington.com. All right. Enjoy your day. We'll see you at the tables.